afternoon and welcome to Healthy Lifestyle. I am Lori Anne Casdia, and our goal at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire you, educate and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life. So today we're very excited. We're going to jump right in. We've been waiting to do this for a while. We have in the studio with us today Deborah Dorsey, a guest and friend of mine, who is going to get an astrology reading by Joanne Weinstein, who is calling in from, what state are you in, Joanne?
Virginia.
Virginia. So she's calling in from Virginia. So we're really excited about this. This is first on Healthy Lifestyle. So it's exciting. You excited, Deborah?
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So Joanne, welcome. Deborah, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori Anne.
So Joanne, why don't you jump right into the reading and how you do this, and then Deborah, anytime you have a question, just jump in and ask the question as if you were sitting in front of each other.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. First of all, when I do reading, I do a natal chart and a solar return, because the natal chart shows me who you are, and the solar return chart shows me where you're going to be this year and where you're headed. So, going by your natal chart, you're a Pisces and you have a Capricorn rising. You have your Saturn and Jupiter in Capricorn in your first house, which to me, the first thing that comes to me is cautiously optimistic.
Yes.
I find that you, there's a lot of enthusiasm within you, but you do hold back a lot.
Yes.
True. Very
she
true.
does.
You're never quite sure, when to let it out, or, when to hold it back, or if it's the right thing to do. But you're very good at managing yourself, your feelings. You also have your moon in your third house, but it's in Aries, and Aries is much more of an impulsive sign. Aries wants to just jump into things, and just be independent and free-spirited, and sometimes it plays at odds with that cautious optism that you have.
Yes, I can be very impulsive at times.
At times, not often, but at times.
Emotion, especially when emotions are involved in relationships and personal relationships. There's a tendency to want to jump in, and then once you're in there going, how did I get here? But it just seemed like a good idea at the time. And you have your Sun and your Mercury in your second house in Pisces. Now, the second house represents your values, your talents and abilities is important to you. And you normally, Taurus rules that house, the second house, and that is more of a material value, valuing money, valuing certain material things. You, however, have Pisces in there, and you value more spiritual, more intuitive things. That's what's more important to you. And in your lifetime, there's always been this conflict with valuing that as opposed to needing to get your material life in place.
That is true. I have been, I put family and other things ahead of
Absolutely.
Of everything else and the material values. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And so you seem to have you have a tremendous amount of intuition. Your ability, your talent, your gift is to you're very intuitive. You're very spiritual. You feel like kind of when you were younger, when you were a child, maybe. Did you feel like you kind of came into this world and didn't quite get it? Sort of like, okay, you had this feeling, you were a child, you were innocent, you were happy, and yet thrown into this world and not quite understanding what to do with it.
Absolutely. I found in my childhood I did a lot of things on my own without a group. not really understanding how, the groups or the peer
Humanity
thing worked. Exactly. I could hang by myself and do projects for hours and then still go and hang out with the group. But was that the most important thing to me? No, because I kind of found my own niche.
So let me ask you a question, Deborah. You're hanging with groups. You hung with different groups too.
Different, yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes,
me too. I was with business groups, and I was with sports groups, and I was with the cheerleaders, and I was with the music group, but always on a tacit level. So it's very similar.
Variety,
Yeah.
But very content hanging by myself too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And let's see. You also have a real deep understanding of human nature. You really do. You've spent time alone. You have gone deep within yourself. I think you understand so much, but yet you don't quite know how to use it. I think that you have the ability to help and nurture. You have this. I could see you the first thing I saw when I looked at where your Mars placement is, which is in your 6th house. In Cancer, I saw you as a nurse or a caretaker in some way.
Wow.
Involved in the health industry somehow.
Deborah, give us a little background.
All righty. So I got my LPN when I was 19 years old.
And what do you do now?
I've been in healthcare ever since. I've been working with a plastic surgeon for 23 years. I've been a caretaker to my ill father.
Yeah, well, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
And a caretaker to your mom and a caretaker to your sister.
Yes. So that is like
your whole family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. You should have seen her face. It was awesome. I was like,
so okay, that's so. Well, the first thing I saw really, and her solar return, which is the theme of this year for her in her life, for you, Deborah, I couldn't help but feel that she either had to be a nurse or was going to be a nurse.
Yes.
You definitely, that is definitely your calling. You have this ability to soothe and nurture and mother and just, and have a certain detachment as well, without getting so involved in your patients,
mm-hmm.
That it creates an emotional problem or you have what it takes to do what you do.
Thank you.
Obviously. So that's what I see with you. Right now, I want to look at your solar return. Your birthday was in February. Was it February? Yeah. Okay. So October, around the end of October is when, 3 months before your birthday is when the solar return kicks in. And what happens is each year the theme of your life changes. There's something that needs to be addressed and completed and balanced. So this would have October and will continue throughout the year till 3 months before your next birthday, where you will start feeling the changes of your next solar return. Okay? And within that 3 months, that transition will be completed from one to the next. Now, this year, what I see is your material life starting to change, where you have that Pisces in your 2nd house, and there was so much of giving and doing and spiritual and giving for others, always for others. This time I see you being able to manage, and it's more earthy, it's more there's more abundance, I feel. There's more coming in the way of stability in your material life.
Oh, that's great. I kind of see that change happening. I do.
Okay. Was there something that may have kicked it off, like late October?
Yeah, just pretty much downsizing and not putting all that pressure on myself and just enjoying the simpler things and, feeling that stability instead of, putting here, doing this, stressing myself out, just making everything much more simple, including the material things, just feeling more stability, more time to take care of me, more time for travel, things like that.
Yes, and travel, yes, definitely. Okay, and your son is in your third house. You definitely need to, let's see. I could see you networking. I could see you working with people this year and continuing what you're doing, obviously, with your nursing, but also in your neighborhood, your community. I could see you getting maybe involved in some activities, some kind of, whether it's health, whether it's having meetings locally, informing or teaching.
Yeah, that's funny because I do live in a private community and they are looking for people, and I've been so thinking about it, just not ready to make the commitment. Now that you mention that, it might be something in my plans. Yeah.
Not in your plans. Joanne just said you will be doing that. So I guess there were your plans.
No, you will be doing it because it will make you feel really whole. This is, you may have doubts about it and questions whether or not, but this is where you belong this year.
That's great. That's great. So Joanne, you keep saying things like house, the first house, the second house. Explain to our listeners what the houses, what the house is. And we have a few more minutes in the segment. And I definitely want you guys to stay for the second segment. So just explain what the houses are, what they represent.
Okay. So the time you're born, that is the first house. Okay. Based on the time you were born. The first the houses represent the stages of life. So the first house is your birth, and it's represented by Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries is the child, the innocent child who is, only knows feed me, change me, love me. It doesn't understand the other. It only knows me. And so it's that child that's where the impulse comes in. It only, oh boy, I want this. And so you go for it without thinking through other possibilities and stuff. So it represents that newborn child. Okay. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
So, the second house is the next stage, is the toddler, and that's ruled by Taurus, and Taurus is, again, the material appreciation of material things and the way you make a living, and your talents and your abilities, which you're discovering. And so that is like the toddler who all the things he has are mine. So, these are mine. These are my abilities. This is my money. This is my everything. And so, little kids, it's like, no, mine, mine, mine. That's what it represents.
So when you're looking at the second house, Deborah's second house was what, in Pisces?
No, it was in Aquarius. But her sun and Mercury are in Pisces. And that is so more otherworldly, so for it to be in the house of possessions, it just shows what is important to you, what are your talents, what are your abilities, what are the possessions that are most important to you, and what it is that you do for work to earn your money. And with Pisces there, nursing is like right at the top of the list.
Gotcha. So houses are representing those 12, the 12 stages, if you will.
Stages of, Yes.
of life, and so each of the zodiac signs are in obviously a specific placement. Aries being the first one, Pisces being the most mature, if you will, out of it, because it's the 12th house, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So I want to get back into Deborah's reading, and as we go more, we'll stop you and ask more questions.
Okay. So we have. Oh, another thing I wanted to just ask you. I was curious. Was there a lot of yelling in your household when you were a child?
Somewhat, not a lot.
Was it your mom?
Yes. Yes, it was. My dad was a very conservative man.
And your mom was the yeller,
yeah,
right?
Oh, yes. She was the disciplinary, and, she kept everything in order, including the children.
Aha. Yes.
Why do you ask?
Well, because you have Aries on the fourth house, which is the house of your childhood. It's the basic foundation. Your emotional foundation. And usually with the sign there, it represents your mother. It represents how your mother behaved or how and you also have your moon in Aries, which is what you learn at your mother's feet, kind of like what you've taken on from your mother. And so the fourth house, you have Aries, and the moon, which rules the fourth house, in Aries. So it seems like there was a lot going on there with mom.
Mm-hmm.
And yelling. She would be impulsive, and she would yell, but she would get over it fast.
At 86 years old, she still has that ability.
Yay, Mom. Good for her. That's right. At 86 years old, she's allowed to have that ability.
Right.
So, okay, back to the reading.
Okay, back to your reading. So, so in your home, you said you were downsizing. I feel like you might need a meditation room, a quiet place for you to just really get in touch with that breath, that divine within you, that you're needing that space, that quiet to really spend time looking within. Mm-hmm. And it would be nice to have a little place where you can do that. You can also express that in different ways by, hanging, by the way you decorate. You could bring a lot of soothing, spiritual, peaceful feeling into your home. And your children, you do have children? Yes?
I have one. One son.
One child.
One son,
okay.
Yes.
One son. Okay. And is he... has he moved, or has anything changed in his life suddenly this past few months?
I would say yes. Yes. He's in the middle of career changing. He's kind of trying to just figure out what direction he's going in with his life.
Okay, yeah, because there'll be big changes for him, and which will, put him in that direction.
Oh, thank goodness.
And
what every mom wants to hear.
Yeah, no, really. And don't worry about him. Don't kind of let go of the whatever fear or worries you have, and allow him to just be free to make new decisions for himself.
Well, you just confirmed that for me, because that's what my goal is. Try to just let him be,
good.
let him be.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe that meditation room would come in handy for that.
Yes.
Definitely would.
No, but I do. I feel like it's funny. This year you have Pisces on your fourth house, which is, your home is your sanctuary now. And it really is a place for you to get back in touch with what's real for you.
Okay.
And, however you can do it, whether, again, through decorating, through a meditation room, through listening to, whether it's tapes or reading, whatever it takes.
That sounds good. So
you need to do.
I'm going to ask us to hold on for a second. We're going to take a little bit of break. You are listening to Healthy Lifestyle on LI News Radio 103.9. I'm Lori Anne Casdia. We're speaking to Joanne Weinstein and Deborah Dorsey. We will be back in a few minutes to continue this conversation. This is really interesting. So more information coming along. Hope you stick with us for the next segment. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas on topics or guests you'd like to hear more about, please email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com and follow us on social media at Healthy Lifestyle with LA. Really appreciate all the emails and the correspondence we're getting. I'm trying to get back to everybody as quickly as possible. So don't fret. We will get back to you, I promise. And love the suggestions. We have some more people coming on. Actually, Joanne is a result of one of our listeners asking for a live read. So, Deborah, you're being incredibly brave to allow the live read today. So, you having fun so far?
Yes. I mean, she's amazing.
Isn't Joanne
awesome,
great?
Spot on, yes.
Yeah. It like takes you. I love your face. I wish this was TV and being recorded that way because your facial expressions are fantastic. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
She knows me somehow.
Yeah. So from reading the chart, so that's why this becomes. Some people don't really believe in this, but it becomes really germane. It helps really guide you and let you know you're on the right track, and sometimes it lets you know you're not on the right track. But it's amazing because it's a roadmap, right? Wouldn't you agree, Joanne?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what it is. And it's like, I know people do have concepts of astrology, being fortune telling or, what's going to happen to me. But it's really about you as a human being and what your purpose is and why you're here and what your gift is and what you have to offer. And, so many of us doubt ourselves. We doubt our gifts. We doubt that we're able to really come out in the world and do what we need to do. And so I feel it really helps people to understand that, your gift is your gift. It's not yours. It's been given to you. And
you have a responsibility to use it.
Yes, exactly.
So let's...
that to me is...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
So to me, that I would bring it back into what we were talking about with Deborah, and let's go down that road. Let's see what the next level is that you're going to bring out about Deborah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Deborah, you have your moon in Virgo in your ninth house, but it's really conjunct your midheaven just missing by a few seconds. So. Okay, what this means is you may be traveling through your work. It's possible that might happen this year, and that your moon is in Virgo. And in Virgo, again, there's such a focus on health, on your health, on eating right, on, changing your diet so that you feel the best you can feel. And that's something you might be able to teach others as well this year, that, people might look to you for that kind of information. Being a nurse and having so much experience and understanding so much about the human body, this would be a good way to, present yourself this year, maybe even in that community environment. Mm-hmm. And it's also important for you to be able to get your health in order. To eliminate stress, to not worry so much. Don't worry about anything. This seems to be a year where there's a lot of, kind of worry going on, or, what am I going to do, and picking things apart and judging yourself and figuring things out. And it's like not necessary to do that, because all you need to do is do what you need to do, not think about it. Don't think about these things, because all you're going to do is get into a spiral, and get yourself into an emotional spiral that keeps you from doing what you need to do.
Yes, we are overthinkers. We are.
Absolutely.
And so, this year is a real opportunity for you to take all the giving that you've done and apply it to yourself.
That's
okay?
very important. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Is what you've learned all your life about taking care of others, now take care of you. Be that example.
I like that.
I like that too. That's brilliant.
And that's what, that's what I see for you this year, is like, you don't doubt yourself. The thing that keeps us from being who we are is doubt. And that is like the most destructive thing in our lives, is doubt, not trusting, not having faith, not believing in ourselves. And doubt keeps us from doing so much and accomplishing so much.
Doubt keeps us small. Doubt keeps us small, and trust is the opposite of doubt. So if you institute trust, then doubt can't come into play, because you got to trust you're doing the right thing and take the best steps forward and learn whatever we're supposed to learn.
Exactly right. And it's you could be walking down this road and all of a sudden this little voice comes in and says, "Oh, I don't know."
Right.
And it's like that voice, you say, I'm not letting you in. You cannot come in. You are not a friend. Just leave me alone. And then just keep doing what you're doing. It's not easy, but when you recognize it, you're able to control it.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
You're able to
make some steps. Yeah, right.
Exactly. Just make steps in that direction where you can say, there I go. Look what I'm thinking, and to understand that is so important, and to know yourself and to know what's going on inside of you. Because really, we're just here for that one reason. We're here to enjoy this life. We're here to be happy. We're here to appreciate, be grateful, love this life, live in peace, have compassion, have empathy. All the rest is irrelevant. All the rest is just, it's an illusion. It's just there to trap us and to take us away from what we know is true. And so, I feel like this roadmap for each individual person helps to keep them in that right place. And to me, that's like the most important thing in this life.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to ask you if I don't know if you see any signs of this, but is there a relationship at all in my future?
Well, actually, there may be somebody you meet suddenly this year. It may not last, but it's going to be important.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it may not be a permanent relationship, but it's going to be a relationship that really helps you grow. That's part of your journey.
Wow.
All right.
It's going to be fun and exciting, and
we like fun and exciting.
Like I said, it may not be permanent. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
But it's going to give you the next step in your confidence, in your trusting yourself.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, and again this year. Definitely.
Good question. Good question. Okay, so what else do we need to know? What else does Deborah need to know?
Let's see. What else can we tell Deborah? I just feel like, you have such a wonderful balance in your life. It's like I see, like with Lori Anne, you're born a day apart, and the same for her. I saw such balance in her life and such just heeding to the chart, just being on the right path. And I see that with you also. I really do. I think the one thing in your life you need to eliminate is worry and doubt. And go forward just knowing that you are here for a reason, and you are here to, your joy is in giving.
Yes.
That is where your joy lies. Okay? No expectations. Know when to say no. Okay? You need that line of, okay, I will go this far and I won't go any further. And know that. Draw those lines in your life. I think this year you'll be able to draw more boundaries. Okay. And be able to be comfortable with them, not feel like, oh my goodness, I should be giving more. No, you shouldn't. For an example, I happen to be a dog lover. I have 5 dogs. And I always have rescues in my house. Oh. And I always feel bad about dogs I cannot save and cannot help. And then I stop and think, wait a minute. I have 5 rescues. I've done my part.
Right.
I have done my part, and I'm good with that. If everybody had 5 dogs, we wouldn't have problems, probably.
Absolutely.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like you're doing your part. That's all you can do. Know when to stop.
Very good point, because I do have that same problem.
Yes,
I want to save, the people I see on the streets. I want to get them something to eat. I want to take, which I do take the animals home.
Yeah, you take them home. She's saving everybody. It's seriously, there are times it's like, it's okay. You can leave. You could leave that person. They'll take care of it.
Now, do you see it all like a possible career change at this point in my life?
Yeah, I do. Actually, again, having to do with more health or spirituality or something like that. I see that there's not so much a change as a different direction. Taking what you do to another level.
Okay.
So what what you need to know about Deborah is, and I've observed this, is in her career. She takes care of everybody so seamlessly, so calmly. Inside, she might be like losing her mind, but outside, so serene, gives everybody this feeling of importance. Everybody who walks through the door, when they walk out, all I hear is Deborah, 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 Deborah. It's all very, very positive, and I know, like, she's blushing right now and giving me the look, stop talking, but it's really true. She has this way about her, and I'd love it for her to be able to take that and share it among other people, to be able to let other people be able to do it. We call her, what do you
the situation.
Yeah, she manages situations. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Yes. She's the calm voice. When everybody else is running around with their hair on fire, she's walking through, putting out all the fires. So it's just calmly she floats through. Maybe later she has a meltdown, but while it's happening, she's very, very calming. And I really think that's it's a really amazing quality.
Thank you. You can tell she's my girlfriend and my best friend. Yes, absolutely.
No, but she is really great. And I got to tell you, sitting in the waiting room one day, all I heard was, I hope Deborah's here, and Deborah, and let's ask Deborah. And they have a reliance on her, and there's a reason for that, because of that confidence she exudes.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And I can feel that from you, definitely. Let's see, there was something else I was going to say. And I cannot
regarding
remember.
The change of career or the change of direction in career?
Bringing it to another level. Let me see. Just give me a second here. Have you ever worked in the insurance business or with insurance?
Yes, at my present job, I do. I do all the.
You do now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's where I see the change that could take place, is moving away from that to a much more, I hate to keep using the word spiritual, but, something much more, whether, again, it's health, moving more in that direction.
Well, maybe what it is she's just going to vibrate at a higher level, which allows her to impact other people even more than she does on a daily basis. Moving her away from the insurance, which is more myopic and it's more administrative, to move more into the interaction with people, which would be like the best use for Deborah, in my estimation, as a mentor. That's where I would put her, is just put her with people, customer service, interacting.
That's what I do enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of lacking right now. So.
Well, that I could definitely see changing this year. There's no question about that. Insurance is so mundane. It's important, but it's not. You're ready to move on.
Yes.
You're definitely ready to move on.
Yes.
And another thing I was going to tell you about Pisces. Pisces is the martyr, the savior. They think they're going to... It's not that they think, they try to save people, and in the process they martyr themselves.
Yeah, you kill yourself.
Because they don't know where to draw lines. It's like you take on so much of other people's stuff, not knowing what's theirs and what's yours. And the way I see it with your moon in Virgo this year, it's a real opportunity to be able to make that distinction.
Right,
to be able to see clearly and balance out that
Right, so it's gratifying and not so disappointing. Yes.
Yeah, there's expectations included in that we kind of superimpose on everything that we do unknowingly, and then we get disappointed. So that's where, here's a really cheap plug here. That's where my book that's going to be coming out, You Problem, Me Problem, that's a good way, that's a good tool that helped me be able to set those boundaries and be able to not take on everybody else's thing. That's not a me problem. I'll be here to support you, but that's not something that's a me problem. So that's a little highlight of something
that is
out.
Very helpful.
Exactly.
I have used that,
right? Isn't
many
it?
times?
Yeah.
Many times.
It has helped me untangle myself for a number of times.
When you're getting involved too deep in something that's not yours.
Yeah, because we assume we kind of
tangle. That's a good word.
Yeah. We assume the feelings as well as the situation. So we need to be able to manage the situation without assuming that responsibility, that feeling, that inner feeling.
That's true. And for me, too, I had that problem when I was younger, and astrology was the thing that helped me. By learning different signs, by learning the different personalities, it helped me separate from other people because I was so lost in that. And being able to understand, oh, wow, it's them, not me.
Yes.
It's such a wonderful feeling, to be able to see that and say that and know that you cannot, it's not about saving other people, it's about helping them rise to their best level.
Lifting them up.
Yes, lifting them up, not saving them in the sense of, here, let me do this for you, let me...
Or trying to change them,
Exactly, or trying to change them. It's just lifting them up and bringing them to the, that's why with astrology, I don't get into negatives. I don't get into this, oh my God, if this will happen, that'll happen, or you might have an accident, because all that's just a given, Life is life. Things happen. But I prefer to stay on the, stay in the realm of this is the best you.
Right.
And do you want to be the best you? Because if you do, you've got all the tools.
Well, we come factory stacked with all the tools we need to be the best us. It's just for some reason we're not taught to go within. We're taught to look for external validation as opposed to going in. We have all the tools. We're born with all the tools. When you discover that, life becomes amazingly simplified and amazingly beautiful because you just have what you need. You always will have what you need. In the last few minutes, I just want to ask you, Joanne, if you had to tell Deborah any one thing, what would that be at this particular moment?
Do you listen to your gut? Do not doubt yourself. Do not doubt yourself. That's the one thing I feel so much for her. Deborah, you're just filled with love and compassion, and no expectations, and do not doubt yourself.
That is spot on. That really is spot on. And it's something I actually was speaking with a coworker about this morning. Just that constantly doubting myself. In the healthcare industry, it's very easy, to doubt, second guess, was this the appropriate thing to do? There's so much involved in it that you're always, there's no straightforward just go. It's so much thought and process. And I said, I I really want to get to the point where I'm just not doubting the decisions that I make at this point.
Well, you know something? What you need to do is step out of the way and allow that gift to come through. That's the thing, is we're really channels. We're the embodiment of that gift. And when we can stop that mind that just limits us so, and get out of the way, like I find when I do a chart, it's not me knowing anything. It's I don't know what it is, but that's why I love to do charts for people I do not know, I've never met, I've never seen. I love it because I can just go in with both feet and, feel what I want without any preconceived notions.
Well, you've been amazing, and I so appreciate what you've done for me today.
Joanne, thank you so very much. We're running out of time, unfortunately, so I will definitely connect you two together so you can continue your reading, Deborah. And in the meantime, Joanne, is there a way we can get in touch with you real quick?
Yes, you mean email?
Yes.
Yes, it's Joanne, Joann 711 at msn.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle. My heart is always filled with sharing this time with you. I want to thank my guests today, Deborah Dorsey and Joanne Weinstein. I want you to remember to do a little something for yourself every day. It starts there. Show up for yourself. Show up big. Thank you again. Have a great day.